All right, happy day, guys. Hope everyone's having a good start to your day. So I want to take some time to talk about preparation. You know, we're all pretty well familiar after the few videos I'd put up, after some of the other videos my counterparts on YouTube have put up. Um, Star notes are going to be a thing of the past. And the big reason, okay, just to uh, kind of bring back some of that information that maybe you missed on a previous video. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing, also known as the BEP, that produces, prints our notes, our paper money, they had made an announcement May of last year, 2023, that they had acquired a new set of machinery called the non-sequential LEPE presses, um, which is supposed to streamline the process. It's supposed to save money at the end of the day toward the production of paper money by using these new machines, and it's already having a huge spiraling kind of domino effect on the market, on the collector scene for such things, um, in a couple different ways. We're going to talk about how it impacts star notes. Secondly, the first thing that a lot of people have identified, because we're already per the BEP. I don't want to skip around too heavily here. Per the BEP, they're going to be phasing out the production of star notes over the course of about 24 months. Okay, and that's give or take average type of timeline. That could be a little bit longer, could be a little bit less, but they're still producing star notes as we speak on their older machines. But the ultimate goal is to transfer all of the production of all notes to this new non-sequential LEPE press. So with that being said, they're going to be phasing out production. They're going to slowly transfer the workload to these the new machines, and then they're going to go ahead and do whatever they need to do with the older machines, retire them, sell them, or whatever. Um, and that was going to be through the course of this 2 year period. Now, from the announcement that was made last year, we're already a year and about 4 months into that transitional process. So the news I had delivered about a couple weeks ago, people thought that, oh, we got 24 months from the video that Blue Ridge Silverhound did August of 2024. No, they've already been making the change into production. So we are kind of like toward the back end of it, and it's already making itself known. To a lot of people that are going to the banks asking for these BEP straps, they are obtaining these straps. These are the ones that come from the Federal Reserve Bank, and they're going to have the band around them that have BEP in large letters. That's how you know you have a true BEP pack or brick. A brick is 1,000 notes. Um, but they're checking out the serial number ranges in these packs, whether they're star notes or not, and they're coming up to something that's quite interesting and a little bit sad, in that there are a number of notes that are in a specific run that are sequential, and then in the same pack they transform into a completely different run, and it kind of goes back and forth. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get 100 sequential notes of the same block run um, in a BEP strap anymore, and that's all due to the process of the this new NS LEPE press. Um, it used to be that if a note was damaged or misprinted in production, they would pull those notes out and replace them with star notes. All right, that was a, kind of the regular process for many decades. Okay, and then this is all coming to a stop because they've identified, like, why are we going to put so much more man hours and money into materials to do the same thing when all we could do is simply just do away with it and then integrate it into this new processes now that we have computers and things that we could type in, a certain block run that we could just send it on through. And if things get damaged, what's the big deal? We're just going to type in another block, reprint like a whole sheet, and add it to that particular batch, you know. And it's going to eliminate the need for them to replace certain components of the printing plates to add the star to the end of the serial numbers. So that's kind of where we're at now. This is having a kind of secondary effect on the market where people are beginning to recognize that star notes are going to be phased out over the course of the next 8 to 12 months, to the point that there will be no more BEP packs whatsoever with any star notes, whether it's one replacement note, or if you happen just to be lucky and get that full strap of 100 sequential star notes, whether it's a $1 bill, $5 bill, 10, 20, whatever, that's all going to come to an end. And that's going to have a huge effect on the valuation of these particular notes. Not in a sense of being nostalgic, and that's why the prices of these are going to go up, but more so these are going to go up because the overall supply of the nice crispy uncirculated packs are going to disappear because people are going to see them, they're going to pull them, they're going to sell them on the secondary market for about 3 times face value, and that value is just going to keep going up over time. The further that we distance ourselves away from the eventual end, the absolute end of star note production, and as time goes on, you can imagine that star note BEP packs are just going to continue to hit this kind of upward trajectory. So we expect, based off of the law of supply and demand, and especially when it comes to the actual numismatics collectible market, that the prices of these should be shooting up. At what pace is to be determined in its own style, its own time, things like that. So it's always good to know how to kind of check in to see how the market's doing. Okay, this is twofold. What's it doing right now on either eBay or the secondary market of like an auction house? Okay, that could be great collections, heritage auctions. We're not going to really delve into any of those big auction houses, but the most important area is going to be eBay. What is the supply looking like? How many's being sold? So, what I did was I put in 2021 Star Note. This is going to be the final date of Star Notes, or series run rather, that we're going to see of Star Notes. So you can see here, just by typing in 2021 Star Note in the U.S. paper money section, we have over 1,300 plus results for 2021 Star Notes. All right, so they may not all be 2021. Maybe there might be some people posting 2017A, which is still relatively recent. Within the last like 5 years, that was the previous run. But there could be other things as well in there that doesn't quite match up to a 2021 Star Note. All right, it could be one single note, it could be a full pack, it could be a run of like 2 or 3 that were found, things like that. So we're going to, these are current listings that are available as of right now for 2021 Star Notes, okay, over 1,300. When we look at compared to sold items, this is something you guys need to know about, all right? As of right now, for the last 90 days, for 2021 Star Notes, there are 824 results, all right? Which you can make the argument that if we're using the previous metric of how many listings are unsold compared to how many have sold, that's quite a bit. That's like what, 65% or whatever the sold through rate is, which tells us that this segment, this market right here of 2021 Star Notes, is actually a very robust market. All right, it's trading very actively over the course of the last 90 days. So that's all well and good. It didn't used to be like this. If we went back 2 years, you probably have a sold through rate of around 25-30%. It was actually a lot less because a lot of the print runs of Star Notes from either 2017A or when 2021 started to go into production were kind of high. All right. So when I say production run, there are certain blocks and things like that that have a certain amount of notes that were produced in a range from a serial number standpoint. You need to know that. All right. And we're going to find out that right now through using the website called mycurrencycollection.com. Okay. This is a page that was dedicated and built by a gentleman named Dave. Okay. So I wanted to before we dive into how to check the production tables, we're not going to look at a specific note per se. There's a contact button for the website. Do not contact Dave about appraisals or how much your note's worth. He is simply there to provide the metrics for how many notes were produced based off of the information provided by the Federal Reserve. He's able to put that information in a table. So do not, under any circumstances, contact Dave on mycurrencycollection.com. He will not answer you. This is where you're going to have to do some of the research yourself, and it couldn't be easier. We already looked at how to pull up that information on eBay, which is going to be by far the best source, the best tool to use to find out prices and valuations. And that's going to help you in turn sell your Star Notes after this point forward. All right, so if we went back to the main page, the one link on this splash page that is the most relevant for like a quick burst of information is the Star Note tables, the bottom right hand corner. Now keep in mind that if you have Star Notes from 1981 to current, they're going to be in this table. They didn't do any record keeping or tracking prior to the 1981 series. So if you have, say, a Star Note from 1976 on a $2 bill, you're not going to be able to find that information on this website. So go to Star Note tables, and then you're going to see the respective dates. Keep in mind there's a few ads in here that you can just close up. 2021, showing that there were $1 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, and $100 bills that were produced with Star Notes bearing the 2021 series date. All right, so for example, if you just found this 2021 Star Note that you received back in change from somewhere, then you could go in here and really simply click on the $1 sign right there, close the ad, and it's going to bring you to the definitive table of the print run of each of those blocks in specific serial number ranges. Okay, so there's going to be high print runs in here, 3.2 million. Those are going to be your most readily available blocks, and that's any Star Note that starts with a B in the serial number, and if it's within the serial number range of 03 200,001 to B06 400,000, then that's where your note is going to sit in. Now, one thing I did note when I went through the information is that there's nothing under a 2021 $1 bill where the print run was under 500,000. Now, 500,000 is okay. If you came across a full, fresh BEP strap of $1 bills that falls under this 500,000 print run, that's actually a pretty good strap to own. It's probably one that's worth, and I haven't seen one for sale, but if regular, let's say, full 100 count packs of stars from the 3.2 million run is selling for a little bit over $300 currently in this market, I would imagine that the 500,000 count run Star Note straps would probably be in that $400 to $500 range. Again, this is all speculative. It's not financial advice at all as to that amount of money being realized for a 500 count run or 500,000 print run size of that particular serial number range. Okay, so go in here. You could just as easily, I guess, type in the serial number and get your information that way. But if you wanted, like, say, a quick burst of information, if you were especially on the buying side and you were on eBay looking for either like full 100 count BEP straps from any of these low print runs here of 500,000 or 640,000, that this tool right here will give you the information you need. Now, compared to 2017A, which was the next series before 2021, there are some rare blocks in here. The rare, I guess, ranges. There's 250,000, which is quite scarce. 500,000, 640. There's 300,000 in there. So these particular runs right here that are very low are going to be in red. And then the dark red ones, check out this 2017 series, 25,000 print run. My goodness, that is low. So this particular note here, if you found one from this particular serial number range coming from the regular 2017 series, this note here in crispy uncirculated condition can be worth as much as $80 to $100 by itself. And most folks will end up sending those to grading companies like PMG and PCGS Banknote for certification. Oftentimes, where it's going to be worthy of secondary grading services are going to be for notes that look pack fresh, that was just printed yesterday. Those are going to be the ones that are deserved of this treatment of being able to grade on the secondary kind of point of view. If you have one that's ragtag that looks like it's been around the block, I probably wouldn't grade it. Just sell it like it is and realize however much you can from that. And you could go further back. This is 2017. There's a couple of juicy ones in here. There's 100,000 run. There's 250 in there. 80,000 as well. I found some notes, especially like $10 bills from runs of like 32,000. And I've done really well reselling them. All right, so make sure if you do find your star notes where it sits on the production table. Is it on the low end? Is it on the more plentiful side? But regardless, people are starting to recognize that these things are being printed less. There are less of them being found out there today that are brand new, which kind of opens up the door for a possible buyout because it's not exactly like we're going to see a whole bunch of these being introduced out into the marketplace because a lot of the merchants are going to be grabbing a hold of fresh new BEP straps and bricks and then tearing those apart and then giving them to businesses and things like that for circulation. So, yeah, just to let you know that the collector base will see less of these, but however, the merchants and all that stuff will hit these up before your collector base will find all of them. All right, so and that's why it's going to be tough, to find full 100 count straps, especially let's say it's in the year 2026. We're already 2 years into the future, long after they have phased out the production of Star Notes, and we're already 12 months in to this kind of like new era of whatever comes into a bank strap is what you're going to get, type of ordeal. Then you can imagine a full bank straps. Okay, and this is kind of like the law of supply and demand. That the prices will like trajectory will be up, going up a very steep mountain. And again, not financial advice, but I do have to point that out. That is going to be the case because of how the circulation of such things really does affect and impact the long-term collectability and value of such things. Star Notes has always been one of those intriguing numismatic collectibles that folks of all walks of life really do enjoy. From your casual collector to one that isn't a collector at all, that just so happened to get a dollar bill from their from the grocery store and change, and it knows like, whoa, that's cool. There's a star at the end of the serial number on this thing. What does it mean? Because we're all used to seeing letters. It's alphanumeric, on the serial number, and it's like when it looks the same all the way across the board, then it's something we get to get used to, and then we just don't pay attention to them. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, how you use the star note tables for quick bursts of information. Again, probably more useful for folks that are looking to pursue the actual collectible pieces on eBay. And again, if you're using the websites to look for specific notes and stuff, there's going to be a wide range of various prices, and as long as you are taking some time to research, realize whole prices on everything, then you're going to be in much better shape of not overpaying. All right, because there are folks out there that think that, wow, these notes should really be worth this amount of money. It's all the way at the top of Mount Everest. And they're like, that's impossible right now in this current market, considering that there's still a decent amount of supply. But once we begin to see more of a 1-to-1 ratio on the sales to what's available on the secondary market, that's where things are going to shift. All right, and then we're going to see a pattern of less supply and more demand after all is said and done. And that's going to be primarily because of the rate of circulation for these notes. Because if they're continuously circulating, obviously paper money is only meant to last through general circulation, where about 18 to 24 months before they should be destroyed. Then, again, the further that we distance ourselves away from the eventual end of the production of star notes, we're just going to see less and less of them. But the demand is going to be higher and higher. People are going to want more of these. So that's what I wanted to talk about on this one. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you got some invaluable information on this particular segment of Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host, Sean. Again, it's always a pleasure. Now I would say is a great time to get into hunting these magical gems in your paper money, in your wallets, and your pocketbooks. It's going to be fun until they all disappear. And then all we could do is reminisce about how cool they were to pull out and save because they were, kind of a neat novelty. And then, you know, yeah, I know, I know. I will miss Star Notes myself, but one thing that we do know is change is inescapable in this world. This is yet again another way that that money is going to be saved at the BEP. Time and manpower is going to be more streamlined as a result. These are all the things that we hear about. We may not like it because it affects our collectible kind of nature of how we live in this world. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, this is something that the good, the fun has to end at some point, and that point is now. So why not talk about it while it's still alive and available for us to grab a hold of, and that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next coin video. But for now, take care, guys.